Hello everyone. So welcome you all to Ashok Tutorials Meghalaya's first MTET channel. So my dear friends, in this video, we will be discussing paper 1 or LP section question paper of Mizoram Teachers Eligibility Test. Alright, and the subject we are going to discuss is environmental studies, and this question paper is of the year 2023. Alright, so let's begin with question number 1. The spirit of teamwork is learned from which of the following? Family, sports and family, sports and society, conducting competition. So the spirit of teamwork we learn from where? From the family, sports and society, which means option number C is the correct answer here, right? Next we have an E-grade bird is often seen on a buffalo's back. This is because the egret feeds on the insects present in the grass, feeds on parasites on the buffalo's back, loves to sing while sitting on the buffalo's back. The egret bird has a hidey hole to rest in. So this is a very easy question, and the answer is also very simple. That is option number B, feeds on parasites on the buffalo's back. So this is a symbiosis relationship or symbiotic relationship or a mutual relationship where the parasites on the buffalo's back are eaten up by the egret birds, and at the same time the bird also gets its food, and at the same time what happens is that the buffalo also gets rid of the parasites, right? So both of them are benefited, or both of them are at advantage. Nobody is affected negatively, right? So all right, so question number 123. The water obtained through precipitation which does not percolate down into the ground and remains confined in lakes, streams, etc. is groundwater, potable water, drinking water, or surface water. So here the best option is option number D, that is surface water, right? Next question. Techniques of incineration, landfills, source reduction, composting and recycling are related with disposal of solid waste, extraction of soil, mining of coal, decomposition of fossil. So here the best option is option number A, that is disposal of solid waste, right? Disposal of solid waste. A lemon sinks in normal water but floats in salty water because the density of lemon increases in salt water, lemon decreases in salt water is more than normal water is more than salt water. So the best option here is option number C, that is salt water is more than normal water, right? The density of salt water is more than the density of normal water. This is the reason that you will find that lemon sink in normal water but floats in salty water, right? Next question. Which one of the following places in our country is a cold desert? So where do you find cold desert? In Jaisalmer, in Thar desert, in Spiti, or in Ladakh? Where we find cold desert? In option number D, that is Ladakh, right? We find cold desert in Ladakh. Now there is a species A of plants that grow in huge number but is found only in B part of India in the whole world. Which type of species is it? Endangered, abundant, endemic, exotic? So here the best option is endemic species, which means it is found only in that particular location. All right. Next, a thin powdery structure inside the petals present in the middle of a flower is called anther, pollen, stigma, radicle. This is the simplest, easiest question, I believe. The best option here is option number B, there is pollen grains, right? Pollen. Now, Saumi and Pui are young girls. Saumi likes to eat junk food, cutlets and cheese. Pui, on the other hand, takes an iron deficient diet. Which of the following disorders are Saumi and Pui likely to suffer from respectively? Obesity and scurvy, scurvy and anemia, anemia and night blindness, obesity and anemia. So this question is also quite easy. The best option here is option number D, that is obesity and anemia. All right, because those who eat junk food, they will become obese, and those who eat diet which is lacking in iron they will suffer from anemia, right? Because anemia is caused due to the deficiency of iron in the body. So which of the following characteristics cannot be inherited from our parents? Type of hair, the way we walk, diseases like polio, the way we sneeze. Which of the following characters we cannot inherit from our parents? It is option number C. Diseases like polio, which means polio is not a genetic disorder or disease. So it is not genetically transmitted from parents to the offspring. Alright. Next question we have, which one of the following animals looks like a bear but is not, and spends 17 hours a day sleeping while hanging upside down on a tree branch and eats the leaves of the same tree? The average lifespan of this animal is almost 40 years and moves around only 8 trees during their entire life. Chimpanzee, langur, panda, sloth or sloth bear. So this is one of the easiest question. The lazy animal, it is sloth bear or sloth, right? So the correct option is option number D, that is sloth. Now the gastric juice present in the stomach that aids in digestion of food is alkaline, acidic, amphoteric, neutral. See, it says what? Gastric juice. We know that in our stomach we find hydrochloric acid. HCl is found in our stomach, right? And this acid, it helps in the process of digestion of our foods. So when we talk about acid or gastric juice, it will always be acidic in nature, right? So here the best option is option number C, that is acidic. Now, a family which consists of husband, wife and unmarried children are children who are not of marriageable age is called nuclear family, extended family, conjugal family or joint family. So this question I have seen for the first time. So here the best option is option number C, that is nuclear family. So a family of husband and wife and they have their 2 children who are unmarried and they are not of the marriageable age. They are known as nuclear family, right? Nuclear family. Now, many steps are needed to grow an onion crop. Consider the following steps and select the option in which these steps are given in correct order. Digging to loosen the soil, cutting the dried leaves from the top of the onion, sowing of seeds, weeding, plucking the onion out. So here the best option is option number A, that is digging to loosen the soil, then sowing of seeds, then plucking the then weeding, then plucking the onions out, and then cutting the dried leaves from the top of the onion. Alright, so option number A is the correct answer. Next we have is, in the hot climatic areas, houses are often painted with light colors because they do not absorb sunlight, they do not reflect sunlight, they do not refract sunlight, they do not protect sunlight. So here the best option is option number A, that is they do not absorb sunlight. That's why they use light colors in the places where the climate is very, very hot. The syllabus for EVS is woven around 5 common themes, 6 common themes, 7 common themes, 4 common themes. So this question is very important. So here the best option 136 is option number C, 7 common themes. Remember, right? Then the wholehearted purposeful activity carried out in a social environment is discussion, experiment, field trips, project. So here the best option is option number D, that is project, right? Games and riddles are important for EVS teaching and learning as they provide a break from classroom monotony. They provide fun time for learners. They allow learners to discover patterns on their own. They are easy to transact in the classroom. Games and riddles are important for EVS teaching and learning as option number C. They allow learners to discover patterns on their own. Alright. 139. The 4 major principles of Bruner's theory include motivation, structure, sequence, knowledge, motivation, structure, sequence, reinforcement, motivation, structure, objection, prerequisite, motivation, sequence, knowledge, objectivity. So which one do you think? It is option number B, that is motivation, structure, sequence and reinforcement. Alright. Next we have, which of the following is the best resource to discuss the issues of water scarcity and its impact on any region? Textbooks, encyclopedia, audio aids, newspaper reports. So here the best option is option number D, newspaper reports. Alright. Which process skill is involved in 5 senses to describe what is seen, heard, felt, smelt, and tasted? Inferring, measuring, observing, analyzing. So here the best option is observing, right? Observing. Next question. National Curriculum Framework 2005 strongly recommends that the teachings of EVS at primary level should aim at developing basic concepts of the subject, linking classroom learning to life outside the classroom, memorizing basic principles of the subject, acquiring skills to carry out experiments. So this question is very easy. The best option here is linking classroom learning to life outside the classroom, which means option number B is the correct answer, right? Now, Sayama wants to emphasize more on social issues like poverty, illiteracy, and inequalities in his class. Which one of the following learning experiences will be most effective in achieving his objective? Organizing special lectures on related issues, asking the students to undertake group projects to collect and analyze related information, asking the students to write slogans on related issues, asking the students to prepare charts on related social issues. So 143, the best option is option number B, asking students to undertake group projects to collect and analyze related information. All right. Next question. When a teacher provides opportunity for the students to assess themselves, it is known as assessment for learning, CCE, assessment as learning, and assessment of learning. So here the best option is option number C, assessment as learning. What is that? Assessment as learning. Now, which of the following is not an indicator for learning EVS? Questioning, concern for justice and equality, cooperation, and remembering. So which of the following is not an indicator for learning EVS? It is option number D, remembering. All right, remembering. Now, collection and gathering of information at the local level by conducting primary survey is field trip, field study, field visit, or field survey. So it is option number D, that is field survey, right? Field survey. Next question. Pre-operational stage in Jean Piaget theory of cognitive development characterizes centration in thought, hypothetico-deductive thinking, ability to conserve and seriate objects, development of abstract thinking. So here the best option is option number A, that is centration in thought, which means child thinks that he or she is the center of attraction, right? Next, the different tools and techniques that can be used by teachers for assessing children's learning are photographs, pictures, picture reading, drawing narratives, discussion, portfolio, measurement, classification. So here the best option is option number B. Option number B. There is 1, 2, and 3. Photograph, picture reading, drawing, narratives, discussion, and portfolio, right? Second last question now. In EVS, concepts and issues have not been compartmentalized into science and social science. Why? The child looks at his or her environment in a holistic manner. It is a good teaching learning strategy. It is for decreasing the syllabus load. Syllabus of EVS has been prescribed as such by CBSE. So the best answer here is option number A. The child looks at his or her environment in a holistic manner. Right? The last question. In order to address the alternative beliefs carried by students, it is important to create the circumstances where students feel restricted to express their views, deliver the content to be taught through teacher-centric pedagogies, generate situations where alternative belief carried by students can be expressed, ignore the role of socio-cultural context of students in the learning process. This question by, just by closing your eyes, you can take the right answer, I know. Yes, and the right answer here is option number, yes, you are right, option number C. That is, generate situations where alternative beliefs carried by students can be expressed. So, now NCF 2005 believes that we should treat the students as the constructivist, all right, which means they construct their own knowledge, and we, the teachers, we are just the facilitators, which means we are just the guide, we are just the mentor, we are just helping them to learn, but they are learning by their own, right? So this is what I have to say. So with this, we have completed the environmental science 2023 LP question paper for Mizoram teachers eligibility test. All right, so I hope that you got to learn something or the other. So if you enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and also don't forget to comment in the comment section your views about this particular video, right? So wishing you all the best and good luck.